A FAM production. Furniture and mattress. FAM.news.
Is a big summer slump on the way? How do you salvage the summer? We're going to revisit the summer of sleep. Inspiration that came from this very podcast from one of the top thinkers in the industry. And hey, we crack open, come back to bed, because if that slump is on the way, we want you to be prepared and prepare now. The Dos Marcos Show begins in 60 seconds.
Driven entrepreneurs, listen up. It's time to team up with Nationwide Marketing Group, North America's most successful network of independent retailers. You'll gain access to programs and services that level the playing field between you and the national chains. Industry-leading digital marketing, increased buying power, exclusive networking events, and of course, their awesome learning platform. Nationwide Marketing Group is the business partner that helps you get results and stay ahead of the competition. Take the first step today and visit nationwidegroup.org.
Do you want more sales in 3 easy clicks? Yeah, it starts right now at doorcounts.com. With a completely redesigned user interface, gathering data has never been easier. Click number 1, your salespeople connect with the customer as they walk through the door. Click 2 is the outcome. Click 3, key performance metrics, right there on your phone from anywhere at any time. Now your salespeople can spend their time selling, and DoorCounts is going to gather the data you need to make your business better. Start right now at doorcounts.com.
Welcome to the Dos Marcos Show with Mark Kinsley and Mark Quinn, where mattress and furniture leaders gather to grow, get the inside scoop, tell stories, and take tequila shots.
Uno, dos, tequila!
The galaxy's greatest mattress podcast has liftoff in
3, 2, 1. Let's enable sim.
Can I give a big shout out? Can I give a shout out right out of the gates to Maureen Coffee?
But you don't have to yell it at us.
Did I yell it? Maureen Coffee.
Yeah, you did.
Maureen says she's our number 1 fan, and I think that's true. And she listened to our podcast about how to tap into the wedding industry and tapping into more nuptials in 2022 than at any time since 1984. How can the mattress industry benefit from that? Well, we want to say congratulations, Maureen, and to the entire Coffee family, because you, my number 1 fan, our number 1 fan, have a daughter named Carolyn, or is it Caroline? I'm sure it's Caroline. Getting married coming up in June, so congratulations. The fam is growing. And thank you for sending us a text on our podium number, which you can do through fam.news. You can text us. How cool is that?
Pretty freaking cool. And congratulations. That's very exciting. Did they post? I didn't see. Did they post our wedding pictures?
Oh, our wedding pictures. Yeah, we sent our wedding pictures to Adrian. Did Adrian post them? Adrian is our producer.
Sure she did.
She probably did at some point. Or maybe she's going to put them in social.
Yeah, I think she probably is. But anyway, yeah, that was a good episode. But that's what this is about, Mr. Kinsley. It's about people like Maureen. Thank you, Maureen, for listening. We love you. And trying to figure it out, because you know something, guys, it's the success favors the creative mind these days. And so as we're looking at summer and inflation and all of the negatives out there, you can't turn on the TV. It'll make you want to strangle yourself, I think. A lot of negatives there. So we got to rise above that and go, okay, in light of all that crap, you know, how do we march forward, and how do we make sure we have a kick butt summer selling season? And it just so happens, Kinsley, we've written about this already.
We have. In our book, Come Back to Bed, which was a number 1 Amazon bestseller, and Forbes recommended it as its number 1 book to read for 2021. We've written about this idea of making sure that you're planning out how you're going to drive foot traffic to your store. And of course, we get into the very first part of this book talking about if you don't know who you are, you're going to be scared to go out and champion your message and shout it from the rooftops. So if you haven't done that brand work, definitely go through the book, Come Back to Bed, and get your identity and your position in your marketplace clear. But beyond that, you need to start thinking about if a slump is on the way, do you just give up, take your ball and your cleats and your bat and go home? No, we're going to compete.
Hell no.
We're going to compete. And if you are somebody that's like, oh, I'm just going to blame it on the economy, or I'm going to blame it on some other factor, then this podcast is not for you. You should turn it off right now. But if you're somebody who looks at a situation and says, good, the summer slump is coming. Inflation is here. Interest rates are rising. The war in Ukraine is causing all kinds of other economic factors to be out of whack. And you look at all that and say, good, this podcast is for you. And what I mean by that is if you genuinely say good to those scenarios, you say, what does this allow me to do? This allows me to be more creative, more connected to people, to get more ideas. It allows me to dig deeper inside myself and grow. And that's what this is about. So if this slump that everybody keeps talking about, the economists, the business analysts, even people in the industry is coming, then we have to prepare for that right now. So I want you to get out pen and paper, and I want you to start thinking about your goals. I want you to actually put a SMART goal down on paper, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based, like actual goals, and go after it. And we had a great example of this last summer with Dr. V and Miskelly's during the summer of sleep. And he decided if we are going to do what we've never done, we have to do what we've never done. And they put together a plan, and they executed on that plan, and they shattered sales records for the bedding and mattress department at Miskelly's. And it was really impressive. And it was having a clear goal in front of them, and it was executing on that and communicating that to the team. And we got to see behind the scenes of that as it went along. And I think that everybody needs to start preparing right now if you haven't already done that, and not just give up and go home. And if you haven't listened to the episode about weddings and how to tap into that, this really follows in the wake of that really well. So we want you to get your ideas going and flowing. Right, Quinn?
No doubt. Let's flow. But here, Kinsley, I just want to make a point before we get into some of those ideas. Guys, think about it this way, right? So we're in the if you're listening to this on your treadmill or in your car or whatever you might be doing, sitting by a pool, hopefully, then you need to think of it through the lens of the consumer. Most people get into the market because they have to get into the market. Very few people are like, oh my gosh, the new summer collection of mattresses is out. I have to go shop them and see what the newest innovation is. Not happening, right? People are in the market because of a transformation or an event in their life, right? And so they're driven into the market. And so if people have less disposable income today, more than ever, it is critical that we, as a category, are getting people to understand that the rest of the purchases on their list can be delayed. The mattress purchase cannot be delayed. The pillow purchase cannot be delayed. It is critical because a good quality sleep is what gives you that happiness and good quality life. If we aren't building value in what we sell to the degree to move to the top of the list and not being pushed down to the bottom of the list because people have less money to spend, we're not going to win. And I don't care how many sales you run, if you don't make it relevant and figure out a way to make people really absolutely want what you have and make it something that they can't postpone, then it is all for nothing. Do you agree with that?
100% I do. Absent of value, people make decisions on price. Okay. And absent of value, people make decisions on other things that aren't in their field of view. So if you don't elevate the importance of the mattress, guess where they're going to spend their money? On more travel. Or you could say people are going to travel more this year than at pretty much any time in history. I mean, that's what some of the data is suggesting. People, tons of pent-up demand around travel. Can you tap into the relevance of people wanting to do travel and hook your wagon to that desire? Yes, you can. Because there's no feeling like the feeling you have when you come home to a bed you love after a great vacation. Sometimes you sleep so great on your vacation and you come home and your sleep is so terrible. What if you slept like you were on vacation? Now's the time to buy that mattress. Look at what's happening in the world, be relevant to where the dollars are going. And now you're making in that conversation about you and that thing, and it's not about anybody else. It's not about a TV. It's not about an iPad. It's not about a new pair of shoes. You're hitching your wagon to a relevant topic where people are already going to spend their money. So I think that's the type of awareness we need is to understand what is happening in the world that are the positives and to connect yourself to that. And then be fearless. Be fearless with your promotions. Be fearless with your message about building value in sleep. If you are scared, you're dead to begin with. People are going to feel that fear in everything you do. Come at it with confidence, knowing that the purpose behind what you're telling people they need to buy is pure, because it is. When people ask me what I do, I say, I help people get a better night's sleep. I said, I work in the mattress industry, and we're all about helping people get a great night's sleep. This guy said this to a guy yesterday. He goes, it's a third of your life. And I go, thank you. I usually have to tell people that. And then they're shocked at the recognition and the reminder that it is a third of their life.
You know, you can take a trip to Florida for a week. You can go to Greece. There's no doubt you can do that and enjoy yourself for a week or two. Or you can buy yourself a brand new bed that kicks butt and enjoy yourself every single night you lay down in your room, right?
Well, what I'm
There's
saying is you don't have to make it about either or. You know, because you're right. I mean, we could.
Well, I mean, they may not have much money. I mean, they may have to make a choice.
Fair point.
Right? I mean, we don't all host the Galaxy's Greatest Mattress podcast, Kinsley.
We don't, definitely. Yeah, that's a 2-man lift right there.
No, so we've got a lot of thoughts to share.
But hey, let's think about that, and let's overcome that objection. So if somebody's saying, I don't have enough money because I want to go to Florida, I can't buy a mattress right now, that's when you introduce financing. That's when you say you put it into dollars per day or dollars per week. And you say you don't have to delay this because you want to take a trip down to the Panhandle. You want to go to the Floribama line and see the Pepsi Gulf Coast Jam. Speaking from experience here.
Right on.
You introduce financing and you use that to introduce all these specials that you have, or remind people that it's not an either or proposition. And many people, when they purchase a mattress, because it is more of an expensive item, and when we put up the adjustable base, the pillows and the sheets and all that on top of it, it's going to cost X amount. So I think that's where you can use financing options to your advantage as a marketing tool.
And drive it hard. And absolutely right. And, and people are struggling. And so that is definitely something. What is the offer? How are you going to structure it and lean into it hard? Give people some help on that. No question. So Kinsley, you and I were talking about the book. And we were talking about different things. You and I have collected a speech we gave at a nationwide event. And we collected a bunch of ideas about how to, help people drive traffic and create unique opportunities for people to come in this store. You want to throw out a couple of those?
Yeah. And first, I think I want to give people the framework that we have used in the book, because we want what you do in your business and in your community, or however you approach it, to be authentic to who you are, because that's going to be sustainable. And when it's sustainable, that traction that you build up leads to momentum and hopefully to some sort of flywheel effect. So what I mean by that is we have an acronym we call CAGE. And so when you're thinking about how you get plugged in and really differentiate your business, you get plugged into your community, you can provide answers, you can give, you can create experiences. Community, answers, giving, experiences. And in the book, we use the example of Jeff Shire. So go to CA. So answers. He's a great educator. He even has a platform called the Beducator. And so he provides beducation to customers on the front end. He's really good at answering questions about components and mattress builds and body types and how your body interacts with it. So that was authentic to who he was. He enjoyed writing and thinking and delivering that value to people. Whereas other people, they want to give. In Mattress Mac checks a couple of these boxes. He's very involved in the community. He literally started a trade school connected to Gallery Furniture or on the property nearby. And of course, he likes to give back to his community, everything from the high water truck he built to rescue people in the Houston flooding, to the charitable contributions he gives. So, you pick a couple of these things and you start introducing them as part of your business and part of your identity and part of your values, and it demonstrates your values. And when you do that to people, the right folks are going to connect with those values and they're going to come do business with you. So that's kind of the general framework. And then we get into, pulling those levers and the specifics of that. And we have over 70 examples we got that are literally captured in the back of the book.
Come back to bed. Right there. What I like about what you said on the cage example, it's really hard. And one of the reasons we wrote that part of the book, Mark, is because so many people have a hard time telling their story. And so what we were really trying to do is give people a construct and a way to figure out different types of things they can share. And, their involvement in the community, their ability to help and serve people with answers, their ability to give, create experiences. It's like, it's so funny. You and I can go visit a retailer, and it's happened so many times where we've sat down with people and we listen to them tell their story, and we're just like, that's so cool. And I love that your grandfather came out of World War II and he started the business. And then we go to their website and it's like just nothing, right? And we're like, how is it you have this whole cool thing to talk about, but yet you don't bring it to life in any way so that people can have some affection for what you do? And so that's why we talked about Cage. So, give people a glimpse into the soul of your business and let them see what you're about so they can choose to do business with you that way.
I was talking to our buddy, Trent Ramberger, not too long ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like going through some of what he's done to really stand out. And he has some amazing stories. We're going to have to get him on the podcast at some point just to tell some of these stories in maybe some snackable ways. But, he says you got to be different and you got to stand out. And I said, but Trent, I understand what you're saying because I think this way. But how would you explain to somebody or coach somebody on how to be different and stand out? And he said, whenever he first started out, he's 27, 28 years old, but he had worked in the industry. So when he was first starting out on his own, he was I'm in a nice shirt and I'm with my family and we're talking about being a local business. And he said it just wasn't hitting home for him. And so one day, the cable company that shot his TV commercials came over and she said, okay, what are we doing today? He goes, I don't know, but I'm going to be up on the roof. And she said, I don't know if that's the best idea to be up on the roof of your building. He said, we're going to do it. And so he had to go through this little costume shop in the strip center where he's located, where Trent Bedding is located, to get up to the roof of the building. He didn't have a ladder to climb up. You had to go up through this costume shop just to get up on the roof. And so he goes up on the roof, and on his way up through the costume shop, something caught his eye. And so he left it alone, went up on the roof. They filmed this commercial. The lighting is perfect. The sound is crisp. All of the shots turned out very clear. And so they put it together and they showed it to him. And he said, we got to reshoot it. And they said, this is the best commercial we've ever done. Well, what had happened was when he went through that costume shop to get up on the roof of his building, he had seen an Uncle Sam costume. And it caught his eye and he thought it was funny. And it had that Americana feel to it. And he said, nope, let's go back up on the roof again. And this time I'm going to be in an Uncle Sam costume. So he got up on the roof in his Uncle Sam costume. They shot the commercial. The audio was complete shit. The framing and the shots weren't crisp and clear. And the lighting was just awful. And Trent saw it and he said, I don't care. Run it. He said, I don't care. Run it.
The classic bad small town commercial.
Classic bad small town commercial.
Yes.
Hey, he didn't end up on the world's dumbest for no reason, okay? He was number 6 on the top 25. So that idea produced an immediate positive response. An immediate positive response. People were coming to the store, people were calling him, and that idea fueled Fred Flintstone, Elvis, Austin Power, and him saying, what can we do that's even crazier every single time? And he got rid of that mold that he was in. He got rid of the fear. Maybe there was fear, but he decided to overcome it every single time. And that's what being different does for your business, because we live in a noisy, over-communicated world. It is easy to ignore almost everything unless you rattle somebody's cage.
And don't go putting Elvis costumes on if that's not your brand, right? So that's what Mark and I were talking about. There's things in the book to help you understand your brand better. But for Trent, it worked. I love it. And that's how we got Lil Trent.
That's how we got Lil Trent.
By doing that stuff. So we have limited time. So Kinsley, I've turned it in the book to the back page. And with just a couple minutes we have left here,
okay,
I have picked out a couple things I really liked. Are you ready?
Hit me with them.
Okay, so we talked in here about the thrown rolls idea at Lambert's. So having some kind of little tchotchke that everyone gets when you walk into this restaurant, you can get pegged right in the face with a hot buttery roll. And so I like the idea of a little something for free that you can give someone. I think that's kind of neat. Also, I love the car show, right? So create traffic to your store, even though maybe they're not going to come in to buy a mattress. But if you have a car show in your parking lot, or you have some kind of a scooter race, or whatever it is in the parking lot to benefit charity, bring people to your store, create traffic to your store, even though maybe it doesn't have anything to do with mattresses. Last idea on that, Seth Carson's with Mattress Sleep Center says he rode hoverboards all around town and he talked to every customer about sleep. Even that I like. He should do it dressed as
I just
Elvis.
did something recently where Trailblazers is a great organization here in town, in Bentonville, that's really guiding the community toward a better biking world in so many different ways. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. But they had an event where they partnered with a brewery. And so everybody went over to Ozark Brewery, and they had a great outdoor space. And they had a bike there because that's in context, right? They're connected to cycling. And so the bike, everybody signed up to change a flat tire. So they had one of the local bike shops there, and then you had to go over and they kind of helped you a little bit, get it all prepared. And of course I signed up, and I used to be the king of changing flats because I had a flat every 10 seconds. But everybody changed to flat, and there was music playing and people were cheering for each other, and they wrote your times down, and everybody's grabbing beer, and $1 from every beer that you drank went to the charity, Trailblazers. And so thinking about how you can tap into where people want to hang out and what activities they want to do, and then creating activities around the product itself. I mean, think about all the fun stuff you could do at a brewery with a mattress. Who can jump the highest, on the spring mattress, and just having maybe mattress races of some sort. So just use your creativity. Remember, in the book we say it all the time, a brainstorm is for volume of ideas. Then you sleep, you make those creative connections not possible during your conscious waking hours. Then you come back to your brainstorm bucket and you select your ideas, because you're maybe even having new ideas at that point. So don't shut anything down, go big, and definitely don't go home with your cleats and your bat and your ball leaving the field. It is time to overcome and salvage the summer slump. You don't have to have the summer slump.
Amen. There's no reason. Choose not to participate. That's what I say. And get to the top of that list. Top of the list or the bottom of the list. Get yourself to the top.
Hey, man, and get yourself right to the top of our page at fam.news and subscribe to get the newsletter. Ray Allegreza has an amazing newsletter coming out every Thursday only from the fam. He is the godfather of the furniture industry, and he's putting his thoughts down on paper, raw, unfiltered, and uncensored, and we love every minute of it. I'm a reader, and I'm a fan. And be sure to subscribe to our podcast, leave us a review, and let us know. What are your ideas? What are your ideas to salvage this summer and leave it all on the field and inject every moment with creativity? We appreciate you being here. Quinn, you look awesome today, man. I just had to say that quarter zip is all you.
You know what? All my wife, actually. I feel good. I'm ready for the summer asleep. I hope you guys are too.
You can bounce on it. Yeah, bounce with it, bounce with it. Bounce with it, bounce with it. All right.
What is a hybrid? It's like peanut butter jelly, peanut butter chocolate. Hybrid so tight, there's no way that you could topple it. Hybrid on my wrist, that's a calculator watch. We add ourselves together and we take it up a notch.
Got the airflow, yo, keep you cool as it get. Visco foam alone to make you drip sweat. Get a hybrid mattress, yes, you'll get better rest. Cool and comfortable,
Hybrid like a sweater vest.
You know the game, we're ahead of the sun. Cause the two of us together are way better than one. Cause I'm cool as ice
and I'm hot like a heater.
Bounce by the ounce, now we got it by the liter.
Well, you take a spring and you wrap it up right. You can sleep so smooth or bounce all night. Put two together, get a whole lot more. Get the feel of the comfort core.
You can bounce on it.
Lay back, you don't have to practice. It's the best thing to happen to your mattress. Get together to do it like I did. Everybody get hybrid. Hybrid.
If you want somebody to get in your vicinity, you probably want to feel a little bit of a hybridity. Foam alone, out of 5, maybe 1 star. Springs and foam, we're taking care of that lumbar. Mad back support, the best way to shack up or just get rest that won't mess your back up.
Like a hot chick mixed with a particle physicist or a mullet. Party in the back of the business. Best of both worlds like Mars and Venus.
The ultimate hybrid.
Nothing short of genius.
Keeping it loose while keeping it tight. We can make you sleep or play all night. Put two together, get a whole lot more. Get the feel of the comfort core.
You can bounce on it.
No stopping when the beat gets played back. Springs keep it popping, foam keeps it laid back. Party over here, get invited. Everybody get hybrid.
Listen, doesn't matter if your kitchen is charming when your bedroom's the most important part of the apartment. What kind of bed do you keep back there? Does your girl wanna chill on a beanbag chair? Hell no!
You need springs and foam, cause if that bowling ball don't bounce, you'll be sleeping alone.
And if the bed don't react, then you can't get low. We got the type of bounce that won't spill your Merlot.
So stick with us and you'll get rewarded.
Cause I'm so gentle
and I'm so supportive.
Hybrid is where the magic is.
And we just killed a song about mattresses.